and to reflect on the mysteries of life and death. Whether you are here to seek, to remember, or simply be present, we are glad you've joined us. Welcome. I am Reverend Leslie Runnels. I use she, her pronouns. I'm joined today with Jason Pesch, who uses they, them pronouns, as worship associate, Karen Baggett as song leader today, Megan Smith on piano, and Susan Roberts and Dan Phillips are making all the technology and magic happen today. Thank you all. If you are visiting us for the first or second time today, would you raise your hands that we may welcome you? Beautiful, beautiful. If you'd like to introduce yourself, we'll bring the microphone to you, and if you don't want to, that's fine too. You feeling brave? Nope, gotcha.
Okay.
All right, we'll find out who's joining us on Zoom today. Hi, Ann. You were with us last week, isn't that right? Yeah, welcome back.
And on Zoom, we have Brian Yance, Karen Reddy, and Kay and Daryl Lynch.
Beautiful. Thanks for joining us online.
Hello.
Wave to everybody. All right, we have some announcements today. Right after worship service, we're going to have coffee with the board. And the discussion today is about the process of calling me as your settled minister. Right now, I'm your contract minister. And we're working on kind of firming up that relationship. And there are some steps that we need to do. So we're going to be talking about that after worship. And so after worship, go grab your cup of coffee and your snacks and come right back in here. And we'll do that together. And then after that, we're going to do a little bit of moving of furniture in the Sally B. White building. That's the building behind us. So if we can get some strong flexy muscles to come and help us move some stuff around, we'd appreciate that. You volunteering, Parker? You volunteer as tribute. I don't like to think of it that way, but okay. We also have, today is our intergenerational service, so that the young ones will be staying with us throughout the worship service. So if anybody wants to come over here of any age at any time, there are some pencils and paper there for you to write a letter to your ancestors. So maybe the people that have already passed on in this life, if you'd like to write them a little love note or remembrance, anybody can come at any time to do that. We are going to be building an altar throughout the worship service, so the time will come for you to come place your memorabilia up there. That's the last announcement for right now that I remember. Okay. With the brightness of a Sunday morning in fall, gathered here in community, let us now prepare ourselves for worship service in this sacred community. We center ourselves and let music move us into the mystery. There's space up here if you'd like to come up front. You're right there? Okay, you take it. All right, Megan, thank you.
Come, let us enter this space of hope and community. Come, let us enter this space with our sorrows, our joys, our passion and compassion. Come, let us enter this space with the stories of our ancestors, for their strength and wisdom beats in our hearts. Come into this space. Present to the beloved companions who move beside us. Come into this space, mindful that together we are building a future for other generations. Come into this space and let us worship. And let us speak the words as one. Come, let us worship together. Today we gather on the traditional lands of the indigenous peoples of this coast, the Kori, the Nusiak, and other Algonquian and Siouan-speaking nations, whose names have too often been erased from maps, but not from memory. European settlers arrive, bringing disease, slavery, and forced displacement. They claimed the land, they cut the forests, they drove people from their fishing grounds, outlawed languages, and rewrote history to hide the theft. The harm did not end in the past. It continues through stolen land, poisoned water, and erased stories, and an economy still built on the extraction of resources, of culture, and of people. As Unitarian Universalists, we name these truths not for guilt, but for responsibility. In the season when the veil thins, we remember the dead and vow to stop repeating the harm of the living. Now we will call in the directions. In pagan rituals, the directions of east, south, west, and north are associated with elemental forces of nature. So air, fire, water, earth. Traditionally, these directions are invoked to cleanse the circle and to offer protection. For some, these elements may represent guardians, symbolic creatures, or even different states of matter. However, we can also view these elements as pathways to understanding different aspects of our own psychology. The lightning of the mind, the passion of fire, the water of our emotions, the earth of our physical being. Our four elements are united by a fifth, an invisible force that binds all together. As a musician, I like to think of it as a musical piece. Each element a note, combining into something greater than the sum of its parts. If you are willing and able, please rise and turn to face east by shifting to your left. And we will prepare to call in the directions. Okay, let us begin by calling in elemental air to watch over our circle. As we do so, think of all the thoughts and conversations you had with your loved one. Now please turn to the right, facing south. Let us call in elemental fire to watch over our circle. Now, think of a time, maybe a heated moment you may have had with this person. And after you've done so, turn to the right so we face west. Let us call in elemental water. Now, think of the person you brought a memento of, a picture of. Now is the time to let that tidal wave of emotion hit us. Let all of your grief rise to the surface like a flood. And as the wave goes back out, know that this community holds you like stones in a chalice. Once more, turn to the right as we face south. Or north, excuse me. Let us call in elemental earth to watch over our circle. See what we have right here in front of us, a loving community who respects the dignity and worth of everyone. Together, we provide each other with pillars to lean on. And just take a moment, just look at the people around you. Just take a brief moment to look at the people. See who is here. Your community. And finally, turn to the right to return to the east, and let us close our circle. Some call you spirit, some call you the spaces in between. Some call you a power greater than ourselves. Thank you for participating in our calling of the directions. You may now be seated as we continue our ritual. And now to light our chalice. Riley? Got it. Okay. Our chalice is a reminder that in hard times, our ancestors in faith acted with courage to bring hope and safety, to bring life itself to threatened people. We light it today as a reminder of who we are called to be in a world still dangerous and despairing. With courage and faith, we bring ourselves to the work before us. And we also light our peace candle to remind ourselves that peace is a process that requires work. And it's not merely an absence of conflict, but it's the presence of justice. Now, Reverend Leslie.
Thank you, Riley. Bless you.
Might be the flowers.
Excellent timing. By the light of these candles, we join together in sacred ritual, where we make some space and time to be human and celebrate our joys and grieve our sorrows together. Should you wish to share a personal joy or sorrow about a person or persons in your life, there is paper over here and a pencil. You can write it on the piece of paper, and I will read that as part of our ritual. You may now line up along this row and around the edges there and come and collect a stone or a shell and place them in the water to be held in community care. We invite you now to the ritual. Your tears may come today when we talk about grief and our loved ones who have gone on. Don't be afraid of your tears today. Don't be afraid of your neighbor's tears today. All of our tears are whole and holy and are welcomed in this community. And we want to add, Maria Lundgren has a sorrow about grief over the wreckage of the White House, that she will never be able to walk through the doors that her son did when he first met President Obama. Laura says that a grief for the hungry and hurting students and families. May the school system become a haven. And Wendy and Jason and Nana and Heather have a joy that it is happy 6th birthday to Bri Bri. Where is he? Here he is. Yay, happy birthday. And happy 13th birthday, that's a big one, to Aiden today. Happy birthday, Aiden. By the light of this chalice, let us together take a moment to hold all that is in our hearts, known and unknown, for those who are struggling. For the sorrows and concerns shared here, may you feel our sympathy and compassion. Take a moment to open our hearts to joy, ours or that of others, known and unknown. We join you in celebration. For all that remains unspoken, both joy and sorrow, may the caring of our community offer you both kindness and hope. May you know love. May you know peace, and may you be safe. We invite the Unitarian Coastal Fellowship Choir to the chancel today. We're going to sing a song to honor one of our UCF ancestors, Happy Eubank. She was instrumental in the creation of the Deep Peace banners that are around our sanctuary. That was beautiful, and my tears started to come during that song. I'm glad they came. They feel good sometimes. So now for our time for all ages, you should all have a little thing of fabric. You didn't get one? Can somebody grab the basket that's in the... Okay, we're going to get one for you. Martha, would you mind? There's a basket in the... She'll get some more. She'll get some more. Yeah, y'all keep yours. We'll make sure everybody has one. You can go ahead and unroll them, and you'll see you have 2 pieces of fabric. So Parker needs one up here. Does everybody have one? Did everybody get one? Here, a couple up front. And Riley needs one. Sarah over here. Susan. And how about in the, yeah, you need one too. Evan. Evan needs one in their beautiful dress. Laura's bringing one to Aaron. Evan. Okay, so now I think everybody has one. Thank you. All right, so you have 2 pieces of fabric. Parker, what's the difference between these 2 pieces of fabric? Okay, great. So one of them is thin and transparent and has little things on it. Maybe you might have gotten one with some things on it. And the other one is opaque, and those are very good words. I'm so impressed. An opaque, if you hold up this fabric in front of your face, what can you see through it? I can see a little bit of light if I get near a window. And if I look at the candles, I can see the candles coming through. But I cannot see you or your faces. And that's what it's like most of the year if we're thinking about our loved ones that have already passed over, right? It's a very thick fabric. We cannot see ourselves so much all the time. But at this time of the year, in many spiritual traditions, the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead becomes thinner, this fabric. So if you put this fabric up in front of your face, what do you see? Almost everything, right? So this is, oh, y'all look so cute. The little puffy things on there make a really good picture. Actually, would you take a picture? I keep forgetting, when we do fun things like this, we should take a picture of it. So everybody hold your cute little thing up. And you might have some black fabric, you might with threads running through it. Yeah, hold these up and let's get a picture of that. Adam, Jason's doing it if he got it. All right, great. All right, so at this time of the year, beautiful, is when we can actually see our ancestors more clearly. Like there's still a little bit of, not exactly clear. And that's one thing that we want to remember in this season of death and dying. This is the time when we honor that. And death and dying can be a very sad time. It can even be a scary time. Like, I don't know what happens then, right? What happens afterwards? But here's a time of the year when we get to play with that a little bit and not be so afraid of it all year long. All right, so now we are going to build a community, another altar. This is going to be an ancestral altar. So some of you might have brought a picture from home, a picture or 2 from home that you want to put up here, or an object. Some of you might have forgotten to bring something, and some of you might not have known to bring something. So down under this table here are 2 baskets of shells. If you forgot to bring something, you can pick up a shell to place on any of the altars here. There's 3. There's also little candles, battery-operated candles in the basket on the intention table if you'd like to pick one of those up and light it and place it on any of the altars here. So we're just going to honor our ancestors right now. So please, I invite you forward to place your beloveds on the altar in whatever form takes place. And you can start that. we have built a beautiful altar to our ancestor. Now let's make it even more beautiful by showing our abundance of love. Each month on our multi-generational worship service, we collect shelf-stable food for our neighbors with food insecurity. With SNAP benefits, Supplemental Nutrition Access Program, I believe, those benefits will be going away beginning November 1st, and there are 48 million people in this country who rely on SNAP benefits to feed their families. So our food pantry, I've already been getting questions from people in the community about how they can donate. They know what's coming, and then they know that many people in this area, including some of you, are going to be struggling to find food. So they have asked, how can we donate food to your pantry? So I think, Helene, we're going to start getting more donations in. There's some people that are going to be doing some food drives. And it's possible, Helene, doing this transparently in front of everybody, that we might need to stock it more often. And so those of you that live in Morehead City, that are close to the church, we might need like maybe 3 volunteers that could come like Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday maybe, because you'll stock it on Sunday. I will be one of them because I live in Morehead. Is there anybody else in Morehead? Sally, Sandra? Okay, we'll start with Sally, Sandra, and me, and then we'll next month, because we don't know when this is going to end and how it will end. So thank you all for your generosity. Now we invite the children, and those of you who are in the quiet room, if you want to come out and collect food, we have some baskets over here, and you can bring them up and lay them around. Good job, Bryden. Look at all that. Nice, Parker. Oh, look at Hallie coming in. Hallie, you can place it right down here. Ah, here comes Soleil with the little mini wagon. Beautiful. Thank you, Bryden. Thank you, Ymir. Look at that. What a bounty. I think our ancestors would be proud. All right. We have now entered the holiday season. We start with All Hallows Eve and Days of the Dead. We roll into Thanksgiving, also known as Day of Mourning by indigenous communities, and later into Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and Christmas, and with a final blast out at New Year's. And I might have missed some cultural traditions that happen at this time of year. But before we go to Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and shopping and presents and turkeys and hams and tofurkeys, let's be present right here, right now, as we near All Hallows Eve, and how this impacts our spiritual faith formation and our journey to collective liberation. The origins of Halloween date back to ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. It is a time dedicated to remembering the dead, including the martyrs and the saints, who are called the Hallows. And this is a celebration of honor, where we honor our loved ones, our ancestors, and our hallowed people, and where we honor death and grief. Samhain was the feast day of the Celtic New Year, and when Christianity took over Britain, the church incorporated their holidays into the pagan calendar and renamed Samhain All Hallows Eve, which later becomes Halloween. And that is on the evening before the church's Feast of All Saints and All Souls Day. And so it made sense at the time that all the saints, all the martyrs, the ancestors, the souls, all be collected at one time to be honored together. Just know this is not the only time of the year that we experience ancestors and death and grief, but it is one time when many cultural traditions take on this part of our spiritual journey. The people continued to practice their rites of calling upon the spirits of ancestors, building beautiful bonfires and altars to the dead. They also believed that other spirits roamed the earth on this sacred night, and they had rituals for warding off the bad spirits, including dressing up as spirits themselves to fool the bad spirits into thinking they were one of them. They made offerings of food and treats to ward off unwanted trickery from less than benevolent spirits. And that is why we say trick or treat at Halloween. That's right. Now, what does it mean to be an ancestor? How do we become an ancestor? First, we must be conceived or created in some way, and then we are alive in whatever form that takes for however many hours, days, or years that we live. And at some point we die, and then we are an ancestor. Some of us die young, and therefore some of our ancestors are younger than we are. Some of our ancestors may never have been born, but they are part of our collective of ancestors. And we honor all of our ancestors at this time. Some of our ancestors are not related by blood, and we do not know the names of all of our ancestors, whether they are blood relations or not. We honor all of our ancestors at this time so that they know we know they are ours and we are theirs. We have complicated relationships with some of our ancestors, and we are all complicated beings, and our ancestors were not perfect beings. We honor all of our ancestors at these times so that we can heal these relationships little by little. Now is the time when the veil is thin for us to center around the acknowledgement that our loved ones are still with us here in spirit, when we reinforce the importance of remaining connected to our beloved ones who have died, as well as the impermanence of life and the persistence of love and connection that continues across multiple dimensions. I'm going to share with you a reading from Adrienne Maree Brown, a Black feminist organizer. I call her a theologian. I don't think she would say that about herself. She says, "We imagine in part by remembering. Every single one of us, if we go back far enough, have ancestors indigenous to a place on this earth, or multiple places for those of us of multiple heritages. These ancestors predate colonization worldwide, and in a multitude of ways, they practice being in relationship to every aspect of the earth and to each other, in responsible stewardship of land and life. For those of us who time and slavery and capitalism and the construct of whiteness have displaced from our original homes and peoples, we must reach to imagine how it might have felt to live this way. Most indigenous people alive today have to navigate and protect their long-held practices, their literal land, against the pace and pressure of a modern world at odds with being in relationship. But we can all imagine some future past which lives in our ancestral memory bag, which lives in our DNA. And when we struggle we can actually find and follow Indigenous leadership. I invite you now to rise in body or spirit as we join voices and sing number 1051, We Are. And as you sing this, sing it to and for your ancestors.
For each child that's born, the morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, the morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the spirit of, we are mothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayer, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, the morning star rises and sings to the universe. One more time. Each child that's born, the morning star rises and sings to the universe. And again, each child that's born, the morning star rises and sings to the universe. Quietly, for each child that's born, the morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
We are our grandmother's prayers, our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors, and we are the Spirit of God. We now enter into a ritual of calling in our ancestors. We will name the ones we know by name and welcome the others who come. We will start with those closest to us and then widen our circle to collect as many as we can. If during the process you feel sad or scared or angry or indifferent, know that that is okay. And perhaps holding on to those fabrics, if you need it, will be helpful. If you don't feel many coming, perhaps hold on to that thin fabric and invite them closer. Let's begin by taking 3 deep inhales and exhales together. We are settling in, settling down to call in our ancestors to honor them and to heal any relationships that need special love right now. For each grouping of ancestors, I will prepare you for who we are calling in. And when I say, welcome in your ancestors, please begin to call them in. Say their names aloud or just in your heart. I will give you time to think of them. As more names come to you, continue to speak them into this sacred space. We begin with the names of the ones closest to us, who we knew well, perhaps mothers, grandfathers, siblings, a dear child, a favorite aunt. Begin with those and continue the naming. Welcome in your ancestors. Charlie, Karen, Patty Paw, Molita, Ma Cricket, Olin Jared, Big Daddy, Big Brother. Now that these close ancestors are here, privately share your messages of love with them, of how you have missed them, and how you remember them. If you have a question for them, ask them now and listen for their answer. If there is an apology, let it be said or heard. We now call in ancestors that are not blood or family relations, but are near and dear to us. Perhaps our ancestors from this congregation or from our larger community. Speak their names and call them closer. Who have we recently lost that we want to come close for us to honor them? Welcome in your ancestors. Happy Eubanks. Pat Harms, Pat White. Now that they are here, what love do you want to share with each other? What questions or answers do you have for one another? We now invite in our mentors, our martyrs, our saints, our movement leaders that, while they may not be kin, we call ancestors because their work and play made us who we are. They may be artists, thinkers, authors, dancers, teachers, activists, scientists, healers. You know who they are. Let's speak their names and bring them in with honor and gratitude. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fannie Lou, Harriet, now that they are here, what messages of gratitude do you have for them? What messages of love, pride, and encouragement do they have for you? Our sanctuary is filling with ancestors surrounding us. Returning to our familial ancestors, we reach out a little farther, calling in our distant ancestors. Maybe we know their names, maybe we do not. They may be from a different continent where we may never have been, but they are part of our history and they are welcome here. Remember that the veil is thin now and they are close by. Welcome in your ancestors. What healing messages do they have for you? What healing messages do you have for them? Know that these messages may come in slowly through images and thought. When you receive these images, which may come over these days, Don't try to talk yourself out of what you are seeing or thinking. Communication with our ancestors happens in many ways, and now, while the veil is thin, we get to listen more closely to each other. We now have a sanctuary full of our ancestors, our beloveds, gathered with us while we honor them. While they are still with us, gathered together in love, remembrance, and honor, let us enter into a moment of collective prayer in the form of a blessing. Jason, will you come read it with me? This blessing calls you home again to your collective inheritance of blood and bone. Calls you to dance with generations who shimmer beyond the veil. We call on the great cloud of witnesses, the ones who inspire our courage, support our endurance, kindle our joy, whisper words of hope. May the wise and well ones, who are vibrant and radiant with healing, who have stepped into the expanse of love without hesitation, whose hearts are open wide, shower you with their blessing, so you know your ancient inheritance. May they form a circle of protection around you to guard from anything that would wish you harm. Open the eyes of your heart to see they are already here, already dancing through your feet, your hips, your hands, the embrace of your arms, the undulations of your spine, the smile on your lips. This blessing dances in the threshold space with you, at the turning of dawn or dusk, helping your heart stay open, attuned to the wisdom pouring forth. Sing aloud of gratitude, ask them to surround you, knowing they are already present. It is only your vision that must change to see. Let's take a moment to center ourselves once more. You might choose to reflect on loved ones who have passed or feel your connection with the earth beneath you. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Take a deep breath in through your nose, lifting your shoulders. As you exhale through your mouth, let your shoulders soften and slide down. Let's do that twice more. Deep breath in through your nose, lifting your shoulders up. Exhale out and shoulders fall down. Once more in through your nose, lifting shoulders. Exhale out through your mouth, shoulders sliding down. Now let's take a moment to connect with our breath and the energies of this sacred time. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and fill your lungs completely. Hold it for a moment, and as you exhale through your mouth, feel any tension melt away. With each breath, imagine a warm, golden light surrounding you, representing the love and memories of those we've lost. As you inhale, draw in this light, feeling the presence of your departed loved ones with you, offering comfort and peace. With each exhale, release any burdens you carry, creating space for their spirits to join us in this circle. Take one more deep breath in, embracing the warmth of their memory, and then exhale gently. And when you're ready, open your eyes, feeling connected to the cycles of life and the energies of Samhain.
Every year, we at Unitarian Coastal Fellowship give to others in our community during the holidays. UCF adults and children participate in assembling gift bags for over 100 adults in Carteret County who are dealing with homelessness, severe and persistent mental illness, developmental disabilities, natural disasters, and addiction recovery. In honor of our healthy and loving ancestors, please give generously so we can give to others this holiday season. Thank you. Please join in blessing this offering with hymn number 402, From You I Receive. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. All right. Let us say farewell to earth, water, fire, and air. Yeah. Good timing. In wholeness, it is done in harmony with shadow and light. Please join me in reading our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now, en español. Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad, o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los elevaremos en el corazón hasta que estemos juntos otra vez. Please stand as you are able and willing for our closing hymn, 131, Love Will Guide Us.
Love will guide us, hope inside us, hope inside us, will lead the way on the road from
Please do not forget to come back up at some point to collect your items that you put on the altar. And now we're going to join hands around the edges of the sanctuary. If you'd like to stay in the middle and be surrounded by our love, please do so. You gonna be able to bust out? Nope. All right. Looks like everybody's connected and surrounded. May our ancestors be amazed at the love and justice this congregation brings to each other and to the world. Amen. Go now in peace, grab your coffee, and come back. We got a little more love to do.
gonna do the chalice lighting that we did in the small group. I don't know how to do it. All right, we're gonna. All right. And anything that you want to, is there anything that you need to say? Okay, I'm gonna do some of it. And then you have to have been a member for 30 days to be Yeah, Barb has them already. I think they're loaded. I need to go get them. I know. All right, everybody, bring your coffee and goodies in here and have a seat, and we'll get started.
Great day for me.
I know. love that. Head. I know. All right, here we come. Okay, I'm going to open this meeting with the chalice lighting that we used in our small group meetings. This community lights this chalice for the light of truth, the warmth of love and commitment. As the community gathers, it welcomes the wisdom and insight that will guide these discussions of calling a minister. As Reverend Leslie said in the service, she is currently serving as a contract minister. That's a time-specific contract with an option to renew. And the contract is between Leslie and the Board of Trustees. Both Reverend Leslie and the board have expressed interest in transitioning to called or settled ministry. This would allow for a deeper relationship than is possible in a defined contract. The UUA Ministerial Transitions Handbook guided a lot of our work in this process, and it states that a called minister leaves only when the minister or the congregation acts to end the ministry. In UCF history, Sally White was our first and only settled minister that we've had so far, and when she decided it was time to retire, that is when that settled ministry ended. A called minister becomes less like a consultant and evolves into a vested partner engaged with the congregation for the fulfillment of its long-term mission. So as part of this process, the board appointed a contract to call team, and 3 of us are here today. Lee Harrison, Amy Jones, Devin Merkley, and Philip Strickland, and I formed this, or composed this team. And our charge was to help this congregation evaluate our ministry, not just Leslie, not just the minister, but evaluate our ministry to assess if UCF has the vision, the leadership, the will, and the financial resources to sustain a settled ministry. At the end of a series of small group meetings conducted this past summer, and after meeting with Reverend Leslie and with the Board of Trustees, the contract to call team recommended that UCF proceed to a congregational vote to call Reverend Leslie Reynolds as a settled minister of the Unitarian Coastal Fellowship. The board endorsed the team's recommendations at its September meeting. And today, the results of the small group meetings assessing UCF's readiness to transition from contract to settled ministry will be presented. And I've got to thank Philip Strickland for these beautiful slides he put together. So we're going to review the slides. In the summer, we organized a series of 5 small group meetings to gauge our sentiments about the contract to call process. We put out notifications in the Wave. We announced it on Sunday morning. We put it in Breeze and had a sign-up sheet in the social hall and also offered an option for one-on-one meetings. Now, I see some familiar faces from those meetings.